On behalf of Ambassador Satterfield, I would like to welcome you to the celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Baker Institute for Public Policy, a nonpartisan, data-driven policy research organization located on the campus of Rice University in Houston, Texas. For 3 decades, the Institute has provided meaningful policy analysis on the most critical challenges facing Texas, the U.S., and the world.
Hey, Jim, I'm so happy to see you. Happy to be
Tonight's distinguished guests, the Honorable James A. Baker III and the Honorable Hillary Rodham Clinton, are a testament to the caliber of experts the Institute brings in to discuss the most pressing issues of our time.
Secretary Baker gave the commencement address at Rice in 1991. I'm sure he's going to talk about American foreign policy because he was Secretary of State. But no, he talked about growing up 4 blocks away from campus, coming onto campus with his grandfather, watching Rice play football, etc. So it was very obvious he had very warm feelings about Rice, even though he had not come to Rice. And about a month later, it suddenly occurred to me that, well, maybe if he feels this way about Rice, he'd be willing, when he steps down, to lend his name to an institute, a public policy institute. And I thought about it for a while, and ultimately I wrote a memo to President George Rupp of Rice, and he wrote back and said, great idea, let's talk about it. And we did, and Rice University, they found someone to approach the secretary, and he agreed to do it. And I will say, he's always been extremely generous to me in terms of giving me credit for my role.
I'd like to read you something that journalist Tom DeFrank wrote this week about tonight's gala. Quote, in a moment when the country is riven by political toxicity and increasingly fractious discourse, the gathering of 3 retired chief U.S. diplomats from different political parties, ideologies, and eras will showcase a master class in bipartisanship, a stark and welcome reminder of a more civilized era. I hope we can prove tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that Mr. DeFrank was right.
I think it's really exciting to get to see these kind of opportunities, especially as a student. We don't really get access, I think, to a lot of direct political oriented kind of activities. And now we're directly going to interact with two powerful people who have really created so much change on the American political sphere. And so getting to hear from them personally and getting to witness kind of this, I think is really inspiring, especially for people who are hoping to pursue a career in politics or in law.
You can only imagine how pleased Mr. Baker is. I mean, he was always optimistic, but I think in every way the Institute has exceeded expectations.
You know, I got here about a third of those 30 years ago. It's been a wonderful time. I think the Baker Institute has for 30 years addressed all the relevant issues, certainly for Texas, the Middle East, healthcare, of course, Mexico, trade, and on and on.
These types of places get better with time, so the fact that it's 30 years old and going strong just means that it's going to get better in the future, and we've got a lot to look forward to and a lot more interesting research to put out.